Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is our lesson 17 on TRICENTIS Tosca automation tool concepts. So I would suggest you guys to go through the previous lesson 16 before you watch this session because both the sessions are interdependent to each other. In my previous lesson 16, I have clearly explained how to create test sheets and then how can you define attributes and the instances at test sheet level and at attribute level. So I would suggest go through that session and then come to this session, then you will understand clearly. So in this session, I'm going to cover remaining topics like what is template and how can you create template, and then how can we link a test sheet to template, and how to link the test sheet values that we have created in earlier session to the test step values of a template, and then how can you instantiate the template. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos on different technologies. Okay, so before I walk you through the real-time examples by using Tosca tool, I would like to cover a couple of theoretical topics so that you will understand the actual test case automation creation of templates easily. Okay, so a quick recap. So in the earlier session, we were discussing about the size selector functionality, which means whenever you buy a product from online, let's say apparel like shirts, okay, so when you buy shirt, you are going to select the size of the shirt, right? So in the size of the shirt, you will have a drop down. Under drop down, you will have a small, medium, large, extra large, all these options, correct? So now you need to automate this size selector functionality by using Tosca to create multiple test cases. So for this, what we need to do, we have to create individual test case for each size and see if you will be able to select those sizes or not. And even with the libraries, you have to repeat. Basically, it's a repetitive process that you will be writing same test cases for different sizes. And also each test case requires individual maintenance. If you write 10 test cases for 10 different sizes, then maintaining these test cases requires a lot of effort. Correct? For each individual test case, you have to maintain the test case. So what is the solution for this? So the solution for this is we have to create test case template so that you need not to maintain the test case at individual level. Instead, you'll be creating a template which in turn creates multiple test cases at a time, and then you'll be updating a single template to make changes to all these test cases. Okay, so what is actual definition of template and what are all different advantages of template? So template, it's basically designed to contain all possible paths of a particular test sheet. So in my previous session, we have defined a test sheet where we have provided all the possible paths of different attributes and the instances, right? So it contains all those possible paths of the test sheet. And also it allows to quickly add, modify or remove the test cases. And this template modifications will feed through to all of the test cases. Basically, whenever you modify test sheet by using template, so all those modifications will be feeded through all the test cases. And this covers the risk areas of our system under test application in a time efficient way. So it's very important concept. Stay tuned. Okay, so before I walk you through the actual Tosca automation tool with an example, so there are some things that you need to remember here. Okay, so here template cannot be run as a test itself, which means template by using template you cannot run the test cases. It lacks specific information and it will create slightly different test cases, but it itself cannot run as a test case. Then what do we need to do? So to run the template as a test case combinations, you have to link a test sheet to a template. So test sheet we already created in my previous session. So we need to link the test sheet to this template. And also you need to link the test sheet values to test step values in the template. And then you need to instantiate the template. Then it creates multiple test cases which are runnable, which means those test cases can be run by using Tosca. These are some best practices that you need to remember whenever you create template and then whenever you generate test case combinations by using test sheets. So always link a test case to a template as soon as it is created to avoid confusion. And also it is recommended to link only one test sheet per template. Even though Tosca allows you to link one test sheet to multiple templates, please avoid linking test sheet to multiple templates. That is recommended. Okay, so if you want to link one test sheet to multiple templates, you need to use classes. So which I'm going to cover in future classes sessions. Okay, and while linking test sheet to template, you have to drag and drop values from test sheet onto the test steps of a relevant template in order to link them to the test step values. Okay, so what is instantiation? So Tosca creates test cases according to the test sheet and the conditions placed on different objects in the template. This process will create multiple test cases with each test condition. That means once you map your test sheet to the template cannot run as a test case itself, but you need to instantiate the template so that it creates multiple test cases with each test condition that has been defined in test sheet. Okay, so now let me walk you through the actual Tosca tool with a real-time example. Okay, so let me first walk you through the lesson 16 that we have created test sheets, right? So in lesson 16, what we did under folder login data test sheet, we have created a test sheet called login data, where we have added attributes like email and password, and for each attribute we have added 3 different instances with 3 different emails and with 3 different passwords. And then we have created instances at test sheet level for 3 different users. And then we have selected emails for each user, and also we selected password attribute for each user. Okay, so now let me go back to test cases now. Okay, so in this session we need to create templates. For that I have to right click on the folder, test case folder, and create test case, and let's rename this as template. Okay, and again under this let's create another folder, 17, create template. Okay, and now let's create a test case, create template, rename this as create template. So once you create your test case, it's obvious that we have to define the test configurations, correct? It's very important, create test configurations. I would like to create 3 different test configurations. One is browser. Let me define this as Chrome. And I would like to create another test configuration, email, and specify my email ID for login. And then let me create another configuration, password, and provide the password. Okay. So once you create your test case and test case configuration, now let's start using library here. Okay. So under library, we already identified the reusable tested blocks, okay, which I have explained in my previous sessions. Okay. So now we have to drag and drop 2 reusable tested blocks. One is precondition and the other one is post condition. Okay. So once you drag and drop these 2 reusable tested blocks, you have to resolve the reference of precondition, because I would like to modify this precondition a little bit. Okay. So before I do modification, I would like to resolve this so that it can be unlinked from the library. So click on resolve reference and then go to precondition and then expand these values. Okay. So here, and once I resolve the reference, what I want to do is I would like to create another folder under this test case, a new folder called workflow, and arrange this in chronological order. Bring it between precondition and post condition. And now I would like to take this test step called login and move this to workflow. Okay, that's it. So what we did is I have created a new folder and then I arranged it with the chronological order and I have moved test step called login to the workflow. Okay. So once it is done, again go back to your test case, and here now I need to provide my URL. So when I'm opening the application, provide the URL here. What is the URL? Our URL is demo workshop, right? So let me copy the URL here and then paste it here. And then here, because we created 2 test configurations, right? Predefined test configuration parameters, I have to define those parameters here. Where? While logging. So in the workflow login, I would like to call those CP parameters. What is the syntax? Open curly braces, CP, open square bracket, and then email, close square and close curly braces. Done. In the same way, now I would like to make this as string so that I can see the CP values. Okay. Again, open curly braces, CP, and now I would like to call password configuration, test configuration. Correct. So email password, I have provided email password so that it takes these 2 parameters. Okay. And then I think we have defined everything. Now we should be able to run this test and see whether this test case runs successfully or not before we create template. Okay. So just right click and click on run in Scratchbook. So log in, it's entered the password and then log out. Okay. So it successfully run the test case. That means the test case, whatever we built, it is correct. So now we have to create a template. So how to create template? It is very important. Okay. So now all you need to do is you have to right click on test case and then select convert to template option. Okay, as soon as you click on convert to template, it's gonna show you a T, right? If you see the T symbol, it has a T symbol here and here, correct? So test case, whenever it is converted to template, a T symbol will be appeared on the test case. Okay, so once you create the template, so we have completed creation of the template. Okay, so now let me just copy this folder again and paste in template itself, and then I would like to rename this as 17 link test sheet and test sheet values. Okay, and then let me pull this to here. Okay, link test sheet and test sheet values. So all I would like to do is here, how do we link the test sheet to the template? So for that, let me just bring this test case design to the right side so that it is easy for us to map our link our test sheet to the template. Okay, so for that, what we'll do here, if you see, this is our login data, is our test sheet that we have created in my previous session, correct? So all you need to do is you have to link this login data test sheet to create template. So all you need to do, drag the test sheet and then drop into create template. Okay, so as soon as you drag and drop, what happens, if you see here, when you select the test case, a new option called jump to schema definition will appear on the screen. Okay, what it will do, so let me show you what it will do. Okay, as soon as I click on link to jump to schema, click on this, what it will do, it is going to jump to the schema, right side schema, that means test sheet. Okay, so so if you select this and then if you go to test case and then click on jump to schema, jump to parent schema, then it's gonna show you this login data schema. Okay, so that's the advantage of this. Or you can do another thing is you can basically see the properties. So if you click here and then click on properties, what you can do is in the properties pane you can see the test sheet that has been mapped. Basically, if you want to see the test sheet which is mapped to the corresponding template, you can see under properties as well. Okay, so now once you complete linking test sheet to the template, and then what we should do, we have to, let me just expand all this. Okay, so now we have to map the test sheet values to the test step values. Okay, how, let me show you. Okay, so if you see here, so there are total 3 different test data sets. That means we have 3 different users. Okay, each user has 3 different logins, correct? Now we would like to execute this login functionality by using 3 different users. So now we have mapped template to the we have mapped test sheet to the template, and now what you need to do is here under email we are calling the test configuration, but now I would not like to use these test configurations. I would like to use the test sheet instances or attributes, correct? So for that, you delete these values from here and then email. So take email attribute, drag and drop here. So which will create Excel link. So Excel link represents the attribute which is linked to the template. That means test step value or an attribute from the test sheet. Test sheet value is mapped to the test step value of the template. Okay. Here email is an attribute which is a test sheet value, and we are linking that to a test step value of the template called create template. Okay. And now in the same way, you just need to drag this password template and drop into password test step value, which will create an Excel link so that it drives this test data while creating test cases. Okay. So now we have done with linking test sheet to the template and then linking test sheet values or attributes to the test case values, test step values. Okay. So now once it is done, let me save this, and then so we are done with a second agenda. Now instantiation. So once you complete mapping test sheet to the template and test sheet values to the template, then our agenda is to create an instantiation. So how to create instantiation? So all you need to do is you just need to select your template, and then here if you see under test case tab, you have an option called instantiate, or right click on the test case and then select create template instance. Okay, instance, create template instance. Okay, so for now let me just select this template and click on instantiate, which is template instance. Okay, click on this. As soon as you click on, so before instantiation, okay, before instantiation I would like to tell you one more thing. Okay, let me delete this again. Okay, I would like to tell you one more thing. So before instantiation, what you need to do is you have to validate the template so that it will tell you if there are any errors in the template. Okay, you need to do right click on template and select check template. So as soon as you check template, it's gonna give you a message no errors found in template, which means whatever the template that we created, we don't have any errors. Okay, click on OK. So now I would like to instantiate the template. Okay, so just go to instantiate and click on instantiate, and then it will ask you, do you want to start instantiation now? Then you need to select yes. So as soon as you select yes, if you see here, a new template instance has been created under the template, correct? And if you see here, under this template instantiation, I can see there are 3 different test cases generated. Our template is only one test case, but the template instance generated 3 different test cases depending upon the instances that we have defined under test sheet. User 1, user 2, user 3. So it created 3 different test cases for 3 different users. Okay, if I expand this, let me show you. So this is my first instance. So let me just, okay, this is my first instance. I would like to show what is the difference between these instances, okay, clearly, so that you will understand. Okay, I would like to keep only the workflow open so that I can clearly show what is the difference between these all instances. Okay, so if you see here, if you see, my first test case has tester 1 ficus.com Tosca123, which is my first user, correct? And then my second test case has tester2 and Tosca456. And then my third test case has an email as tester3 and different password. That means 3 different test cases got created with 3 different test data sets. Okay, that means we have completed creating multiple test cases by using TestSheet. Okay, so once you create all these test template instances, you can run these test cases by right clicking and then click on run in Scratchbook. So all the test cases will be run successfully without any issues, right? And then you can mark the work state to complete for all 3 test cases. Okay, so now hope you all understand the concepts of creation of the templates, and then how can you link your test sheet to the template, and then how can you link the test sheet values to the test case values of the template, and how to instantiate the template so that it will create multiple test cases based on the conditions that are defined under test sheet. Okay, so if you have any questions, please comments in the comment box. You can provide your questions in the comment box so that I can reply to your queries. Hope you all understand the concepts. Please subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You will receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.